Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another day of unstoppable CS2 case market coverage. We're going to jump right into it here with the lower priced rare cases here, starting off with the clutch case all the way up to 61 cents now. Yesterday it was at about 59, which was the high for it. Now the high is 61 and soon to be 62. This is climbing fast. Now the clutch case, a lot of people have asked me about the clutch case in the comments, and I'm just going to go through this really quickly. Um, Asking they a lot of people have felt like it's a good investment, obviously, because it's an older case and it's still a lot cheaper. And the reason why it's a lot cheaper is because there's still a ton of cases in circulation, which is partially related to the fact that skins are mid and it gives you gloves. And I don't know, people just did not really mess with this case, and for understandable reasons. Now, I just want people to be wary that if something takes off, especially something with this much on the market, um, like the clutch case, it doesn't always necessarily mean it's going to stay up. Like most cases do always hold their value, but something like with this clutch case, let's come and look in the past on this one. It had a spike before, and I remember uh, writing down this spike. Well, I have a little spreadsheet with my case prices and whatnot, and I was looking at older versions, and I had this price down about 121 here. Um, so from that point, it dropped down back to 60 cents. If you would have started buying at 121 on these, that would have been a bad idea. But I think it's just uh, specifically the clutch case, and also I think it's still going to rise. What I tend to see, and this is going to be kind of hard to explain, but there's sort of like a market cap on the price based on how many of these are in circulation, depending on the case. So, like, this was like the height of the case buying period. This is when cases really started to take off, was this general area. And this was kind of the height, and then fell back down along with a few other cases. Like, some other cases, like the Horizon, had a similar jump. I think the Horizons are actually might be at an all-time high right now. I believe they are. But see back here, they took like a jump to about 112, 130, and then fell back down into the 80, 90 cents again for like a year. And that's why I tell you guys, the market is hot right now. Like when I put in these titles and when I emphasize like it's doing tremendous, I don't mean to just say that shit to be like hack or just like support the market or some shit. I'm saying that because it is on fucking fire. And I do believe that it's going to hold this pace. Um, because the market for CS2 has grown exponentially compared to what it used to be, and it is consuming all of these cases. And what I mean by that is like, and also just take a peep these Prisma cases up, I think like 6 cents from yesterday on the regular Prismas or something, maybe three. I'm not sure exactly what it was yesterday. And the Prisma 2s were up to 99 cents. That's an all-time high on these. But the game released in China is gaining more popularity across the world, and so is the market specifically. So as that grows, again, there's only a set number of all these cases, and they're getting opened every day, so that number gets smaller and smaller, at least these rare cases. So it can only typically grow. The only reason you'll see a lot of fluctuation or prices fall down heavily is when case investors are offloading a bunch at a time. And if a bunch of investors are offloading at once, that can really dampen the price on something. But again, there's still a set amount, so it's pretty much always going to recover until investors no longer have cases in their inventory eventually. That's when it rises to prices like the $50 range or the Bravo cases. And that's a very, very long time away, but it will slowly, incrementally rise until then. On this danger zone case, we're holding at about 115. This is what we've been sitting at for the last day at least. It climbed up there yesterday. Been sitting out there today. Now we've seen some big gains on some other cases like the Falchion, the Dreams and Nightmares. First, I also want to address the Horizon is not down to 145, just somebody selling off some cases there. We are sitting at about 150 still on these Horizons, stayed stagnant throughout the week. Really not much going on these, but you never know. They take jumps periodically. So the Falchion case all the way up to 164. This has been like a 10-cent jump within the last week. Look at that. Huge growth there on that one. within the last week, specifically starting at about 143 all the way up to 163. A 20-cent jump on the Falchion. It's big. That's a huge jump. So keep your eye on the Falchion. We're going to be watching that throughout the next week, as well as the Dreams and Nightmares. It stayed stagnant throughout the entire month last month and is surging right now. On the week, it is up from 180 all the way to 199 at one point. So, now sitting at about 191 though. So definitely look for that one to grow here in the near future. Uh, Now, as for these other cases, Revolver stayed the same, Spectrum 2 stayed the same. It looks like it's dropped, but it's just somebody selling cases here again. Still at 302 on those. Let's go ahead to the next page and see where we're sitting on these. These have also all mostly stayed stagnant, with an exception for the Chroma 2, which has really been taking a little bit of a hike lately. Just stayed on a steady incline on the week, started at about 357, now up to about 405. So that's pretty big. Huge week for the Chroma 2 case. Uh, as for these other cases down here, Phoenix has stayed the same for the last day or so. I honestly don't look at the Riptide much at its movements, and it has stayed stagnant. I thought it has. I don't see that moving much every day. The Broken Fang has just moved into $6 where it was not recently, so that's something to keep your eye on. Broke the $6 mark on that one. Let's move up to these here. The Winter Offensive has taken a dip, and I think that's because somebody is starting to try and sell a lot of their cases for a lower price because it was really a steep dip from where the prices were at. But maybe it's just a recovery. I mean, it has been sitting around this price beforehand. So the Winter Offensive case, very few of these left, but you never know, man. I don't know. These could rise up once there's really very little left on the market, but I'm not really sure what's on other markets for that case. So maybe it's oversaturated in other markets. You can get it cheaper. But yeah, Breakout hasn't moved, Glove hasn't moved much, and that's really what we're looking at on the market. Danger Zone. Somebody just sell some? No, yeah, obviously. But that's what we're looking at today on the market. Nothing too insane outside of the Falchion case and the Dreams and Nightmares case and the Clutch case, now up to 62 cents. So a 3-cent jump on those, which is very, very big. Same with the Prismas moving upwards. So really just been a booming, tremendous week all around. And again, guys, I'm not gonna say that if it's really not. I'm not gonna make that up just to say that to you guys. So you see the videos with me. You get to see where the prices move every single day, and it's been on an upward trajectory for over a month straight now. I don't think it's going to end, and we're gonna keep our eye on it. We have objective uh, analysis of what is going on in the market. So if it goes down, guys, I'm just telling you it's going down. I'm being dead ass, and I'll say the market's in the dumper. It just is not. It is growing exponentially, and I think it can only go up with the limited number of cases. We'll see over time, but 2025, I think it's going to be a huge year. Thank you all for coming out. I'll see you guys tomorrow.